like literally, it's the middle of summer, and it's freezing outside. I don't get it. Seattle's weird, man. Anyways, Breaking Bad is a show created by Vince Gilligan, written by him, most episodes, and many other people. And so this guy, it follows this chemistry teacher, and he's like, "Bro, I want to cook meth now," and so he does. And he wants to make money because he has cancer, so he can have money left over for his family when he dies. This show essentially contains not a single bad or mediocre episode. Every single episode is interesting and very well put together in pretty much every aspect. And the show is basically planned out perfectly by Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould and those guys, because they had a specific plan for how this show should be. And then they got all the writers together. They're like, we want the show like this. And so they made the show like this, and it basically turned out perfect. Best things about the show is pretty much everything. The characters are fully fleshed out in like pretty much every way. Every single character has a personality. They all contribute something to the plot, whether it's something scary or something interesting. Another thing with the show is that there's always a problem or conflict that's happening in the show, which makes the show always very interesting. Every single episode, there's not a single episode that's not, even the most hated episode, The Fly, has a conflict because The Fly exists. The acting is perfect all around. Even Skylar, as annoying as she is, she's a fantastic actor, whoever plays her. And what's her name? Hank's wife. She's super annoying too, but she's pretty much played perfectly. Um, each season is like gets better than the last one. Season 5 is like basically the best season. It's just like the ultimate encapsulation. Season 4 could have literally, the show could have just ended at season 4 if it wanted to. It has a very unique vision and execution for the show, which is what makes the show so good, is because the guys know exactly what they wanted for the show to exist. The first season can basically just stand on its own. If the show for some reason wouldn't be successful, the first season could still stand and be very good. It's like, some of my favorite episodes include the pilot, because the pilot is essentially maybe like the best pilot for any TV show ever created. See, the season 2 finale was fantastic with the planes and everything. You know what I'm talking about. The season 4 finale, because everything that had to do with Gus was like perfect and like complete in every way. Fly was a great episode. Right when I said fly, a fly flew by. I don't know if you caught that. Anyways, Fly is a great episode. Ozymandias is a fantastic episode, and the episode prior to that one, because they both are just like, what was it? Nerdwriter explained Ozymandias as like the episode of reactions. Every single reaction to every big thing, to every character moment, was fulfilled. And it's considered on IMDb as the best episode ever created on all television, because it has a 10 out of 10 on IMDb, which is insane. Like the way it concludes, like just the season 5, is just like when I first watched it. I've seen the show twice now. When I first saw this season, like everything is so unpredictable. You literally can't guess a single thing of what could happen next, because the writers want it to be so intriguing and different that they don't follow any like cliches or anything like that. The show is very smart, very very smart, very similar to Better Call Saul. Sort of the message that I get from this show is the fact that crime, like drugs, selling drugs, all that is terrible, and it can technically pay, but it might cost you a lot more than just risking like your life or something like that. It's gonna risk a lot more. And this show explains very well what can be taken away from you if you pursue this sort of lifestyle. And the way the show just like understands everything so well is amazing. The show has shows some very humorous moments, which is pretty great, but then also some very like very sad moments. And the show covers like all different all different like types of life. Like it involves like drug addiction, depression, um what's it, divorce, basically everything that's terrible about life. It covers it. But and then the way that all this happens is like literally because of this sort of lifestyle, which is why I'm basically never gonna ever do drugs because of the show or make meth, which probably means I have to stop my meth business. But I mean, whatever. Another message I get from the show is like power is as much of a drug as meth. Really quick spoilers, really quick spoilers. If you want to not get these spoilers real quick, go here. Anyways, so Walt basically gets addicted to power. He reveals this in the final episode, and the way that he's like convinced, and the way he just gets sucked into like this empire. He gets angry at his family and everything, and he gets addicted to having money and like power to just do whatever he wants because he has money, and because he has like developed like this business slash empire, he calls it, that he wants so bad. And he figured all this out, and it's crazy how he did that, which like comes to the conclusions like once you have enough power, like a simple man as simple as like a science teacher, you get enough power, you might be like, man, this feels really good. I'm just gonna like continue on this and just destroy my life. That sort of thing. And it's just like, because of all this, I give this show a literal 5 out of 5. Like 5 stars. Like an A plus. A plus. Like pretty much perfect. The only flaw with Breaking Bad that I found was the cinematography was very was kind of plain. There are lots of really good shots later on in the show, and it definitely improves, but it would have been nice to see some better looking stuff. Although like in Better Call Saul, it looks really good, so that's my only issue with Breaking Bad. Even though it's not an issue. Yeah. So guys, be prepared. I'm gonna do a Last Airbender Avatar review. I've seen it the first time, and I'm rewatching it with my brother because it's on Netflix now. Hope you guys enjoy this episode, this review episode, and don't do drugs.